Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Maksim Chmerkovskiy.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The one, the only is a lot, but
And I love that you're calling. You are on a long list of people that have checked in from their closets. I see that your closet is in back of you, and you are not. There's so many people that call from their closets.
3 kids, man. I don't know how we got here, but this is it's a real thing. They're everywhere. They're all over the house, and, and it's just. I thought we're gonna have a lot of place in this one, but no. Thank God for the big closet.
Do
Peta,
you
Peta does all her Zooms here as well. So
really? Well, it's a good place to have privacy, right?
yeah, no, it's very it's nice sound. The sound is also very buffered. And so, she has this vanity thing here. So, I look professional.
I love it. Well, you were just in Chicago. You were on Savor. I mean, you were, speaking of kids, away from the kids, like was that, you have a newborn son. Like, that was the first time I imagine you were away from him.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's so funny. Last year we launched Savor in Napa, and it was a wine tasting kind of like immersive experience. We were co-creating with the people that wrote and directed and all the stuff. So my brother and I were like, the guinea pigs. Let's see if that works. And then we spent 3 months in Napa. It was an absolutely amazing experience in terms of meeting that community and sort of like understanding the vibes over there. I've never been to Napa before. I'm not into that whole wine stuff just yet. I'm now getting into it again, showing my age. It's like, what are people fascinated with wine? Wait till you like mid-30s, you'll start to understand. Anyway, so last year we had our second son, Rio, and it was interesting because it was like, the due date was I think the weekend of our premiere. So last year I had to run the premiere weekend of the show, fly back, and then I kept flying back and forth LA to Napa. But when you're asking me about this year, leaving a newborn, for the 2 weeks that I had run in Chicago, well, it's kind of like our Groundhog's Day at this point. We did this whole thing last summer. We had the newborn, and I had to work, and we were doing this back. And so, like, doing it this year kind of felt like we looked at each other with Peter, like, so we're doing the same thing. And it's like, yep. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's keep it moving. So it's just a very, okay, this is now happening to us, So not to confuse this with, are we upset at having the kids and stuff? No. Oh my God, this is an accident. What are we going to do? No, none of that. No, we're all super happy. Everything's beautiful, but it's challenging. And
There's a
that's
lot
why,
going on.
that's why I'm in the closet, you know.
Do you plan to take Savor elsewhere now? Like now that this run is over, like is the plan, like you said, you started in Napa with wine tasting. Is the plan to kind of go to other cities?
Yeah, I mean, when building a product like that, yes, there's a the part of it that's creative and beautiful and all of that. But this is also a financial entity that feeds a lot of people, not just the artist. So, the process here is to try. It was to create the show, test it out in the Presidium seating, like in Chicago theater. We were in a Broadway, off-Broadway production. We ran Broadway schedule, which is 8 shows a week, which is very hard. And, those 2 a days, they're very difficult. But we wanted to give it a try, see how it goes. And then after this, again, fingers crossed, maybe a Broadway opportunity, maybe a touring opportunity, but the product is birthed and it's lives on its own. It's called Savor After Hours. It's a fantastic show, great time, whether you drink or not, doesn't matter. There's something new out there with the likes of us as part of it in its inception. I look forward to any iteration of this show. Really, my track in this show is very special for me, because again, as someone who's been there in the beginning, part of the choreography and the building process, the dances that I do, and the numbers that I'm a part of, that I anchor, are really special to me. So I would love to be a part of this moving forward, regardless of where this lives. But again, everything that I do now anchors back to the house and kids and the wife and opportunities like that, and sort of like, become kind of like, will it fit and will it won't, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you did start dancing when you were very young. I know you were competitive from an early age. Like, at what point did this go from, I'm young and I'm dancing and I'm in competitions, to like, wait, this is going to actually be my career?
1994, I think. It's when we immigrated. We left Ukraine. We landed in Brooklyn, and I feel like, it's not too cliche to say that, we didn't have the English, but I did have the cha-cha. So it's a universal language of ballroom dancing. And talk about outliers, right? You know that book by Michael Caldwell, and it talks about, for somebody like me, it was a great book to read, because it talks about successful people, but it kind of breaks it down to where, this type of success isn't only a matter of that person being, amazing at it. And the book talks about the Bill Gates and the whole Microsoft stuff, and this computer boom and everything that went around it. We're looking at those people like, oh my God, these people are geniuses, and they probably are. But they were also somewhere at the right time, the right place, and time in the history where I'm from, I didn't even know what computer was as a word. At that time, somebody, in I don't know, San Francisco area has access to personal computing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah.
that computer cloud, and again, geography played a huge role in all that. So my point is, we landed in New York City in the mid 90s. At that point, I had 10-year dance experience, let's call it that. I was 4 when I started doing some kind of movements, and then they put me into ballroom specific school at around 5. We're talking now, I'm 14, this is 94, I'm in New York City. Now, I sucked at dance, not in a bad word, but in a word of like, competitively, I wasn't the champ, not even close, not even the finalist. I wasn't even that good. I wasn't even that good, to the point where my partners were kept being given to better dance, to better partners. Like I would dance with this girl, and she'd be like, really like Max, but we're like 7, 8, 9 years old. And then her parents would be like, he's better, so let's move on over there. So I was that guy. And in the mid 90s, I'm in Brooklyn. Again, no English, no none of that. So we were being brought into dance by our parents, just so that we don't lose our mind. Like me personally, I'm a teenager in this new country, and this is insane. Again, Lincoln High School is my neighborhood high, so it's like, it was a lot. So I'm in this dance studio now. Now I have some familiarity. Little that my parents knew, I was passionate